Alright. 5-color Bring to Niv. Niv-Mizzet Reborn. Standard all-star here. We have a really sweet standard deck with him on the website. And this is a kind of a modern port of that in a lot of ways. Instead of Oathakaya, we have Lightning Helix. We also, notably this deck over the standard version, gets to play this card called Bring to Light, which says you can search your library for a creature, instant, or sorcery card with converted mana cost equal to or less than the number of colors spent on Bring to Light. So when you spend 5 colors on Bring to Light can fetch Niv-Mizzet Reborn. So this deck basically has to play 7 Niv-Mizzets, but these 4 Niv-Mizzets are anything else if anything else is more useful. So like we get to play 7 Nivs, but we also get to play 5 Supreme Verdicts and, you know, 5 Maelstrom Pulses and 5 Kolaghan's commands and stuff like that. One thing that I kind of wonder looking at this deck is we had actually played an Esper control deck, and while the Esper control deck had been pretty bad, Oathakaya had been very reasonable, especially alongside Teferi Time Raveler. So the fact that one of the things I'm thinking about going into this league is like, in addition to these Lightning Helixes, like maybe this deck wants Oathakaya as well. I could also see the side of the coin though that like playing that many deal 3s is maybe not good enough, or not something you're interested in doing. We also notably have 3 copies of Glittering Wish here, which lets us fetch any multicolored card out of our sideboard. So basically, in addition to these 7 copies of Niv-Mizzet Reborn, there's another Niv in our sideboard here. So we have a lot of access to finding Niv Reborn with this deck. I feel like my predictions for this league are like cut and paste of my predictions for every time we play a deck like this, which is that this is just kind of a greedy pile of mid-range, which means if we run into people who have been foolish enough to register Raging Ravine and Celestial Colonnade, we're probably going to run those folks over. If we run into decks like Hagak and Urza, we're probably going to have a bad time. Let's dive on into a league and see how that goes. Something I'm going to be mentioning during Modern for the next couple of days. They mentioned there's... Aaron Forsyth posted on Twitter that there's not going to be an emergency ban around Hagak, which is unsurprising. We didn't see an emergency ban during Eldrazi Winter, so I'm not surprised to not see an emergency ban now. So until we get a ban list update on the 26th, which is about 2 weeks from now, today's the 13th, I am going to be scaling back my Modern mornings to just doing one deck like we used to for a while. Because I don't want to do 0 Modern, but I also like don't want to do extra while a significant part of the format is going to be like mulliganing for your sideboard, rest in peace, and like hoping your opponent doesn't have their Force of Vigor or Nature's Flame. So there's still some good games to be had in the middle, so we're going to keep playing at least a little bit, but pretty easy mulligan here. Only 1 land that doesn't cast Noble Hierarch. I hit Mythic and top 20 for the first time this season. I'm excited about that. What's my favorite deck in Standard? Definitely Yarok is my go-to in Standard at the moment. We're going to keep this. We're going to bottom Verdant Catacombs, I think, here. Yarok Field. There's a reason why I'm playing that one. Yay! Turn 1 discard spells. Probably good for us. Hopefully they're doing something fair. Yeah, Yarok Field is my favorite. That's why I'm playing it and planning to play it in the MCQ this weekend. They took Kaya's Guile, so I assume that means they have a Tarmogoyf or something here. So this adds mana of any color that can only be spent on a multicolored spell, so I can play this and cast Thought Erasure next turn. There's Tarmogoyf. Lightning Helix notably does not kill Tarmogoyf, and even if it did, I can't cast it. Actually, you know what? Thinking about it, I should have played Hallowed Fountain on 1, because if they played Bob and I drew this, that would make me sad. Alright, well, let's take their Goyf here. And, yeah, I think I'm actually keeping that. Because next turn I go tapped land bird, and then I can Niv-Mizzet the turn after. You've probably never seen it before, because it's just, like, not super good in Modern in general. We've played some aggressive decks with this card before that are like, okay, like some Siege Rhino, Mantis Rider type stuff. So I don't think it's worth chalking this in to like hold up a Lightning Helix here. Especially because we're taking another hit for 4 guaranteed. That's unfortunate. They know about this. They don't know about this, but pretty likely we could cast this next turn if they let the bird live. Well, my hand casts Niv-Mizzet. So let's just go ahead and do this and finish the Liliana off. And then obviously they have this trophy that's going to kill my Niv, but that's fine. Looking to fade Bloodbraid Elf here, so it looks like they have it. Unfortunate. Hopefully they just hit like a fatal push here. Tireless Tracker, brutal. I think that's the game. Because we're taking 8. Yeah, I guess we could draw something next turn, but they have an Assassin's Trophy that we know about. Glittering Wish. I'm short on Glittering Wish for Supreme Verdict here. So yeah, looks like we're dead. Even if I kill this, they have 6. I'm just like dead to any land. And that was kind of a good example of why this seems kind of clunky and awkward. Like, the fair matchup like this is definitely like, is almost certainly one of our better matchups, and it seemed like we came up short here still. I think I'm just supposed to click submit, and that's the other part about playing a deck like this. I've played a lot of Glittering Wish decks in Modern, and this is kind of the same problem you have with 4-mana Karn to a degree, but at least like 4-mana Karn has a 2-card combo to lock your opponent out. Like, giving up sideboard slots in Modern is like a really big ask, because this format has a lot of really powerful. This deck's posted like multiple 5-0s punchworthy, just like, again, give you insight into like broken clocks, right, twice per day, run hot. So like, I have stopped taking decks that like are weird and don't have any results, but I think it's important that we like play results, because sometimes I'm surprised by things. Like, I accepted Twiddlestorm as well. Like, a lot of these decks are probably bad, but I've stopped accepting decks that are 6-card stumble. Did we stumble? We didn't really stumble. We played a spell every turn that game. Yeah, punchworthy. Modern Magic's an incredibly high variance game, and decks that are bad frequently post results. And sometimes a deck looks bad and we play it and it's like, oh, this is actually kind of okay, and like it's fine. More often than not, we play them and we're like, oh, this was a dumpster fire, someone got very lucky. But yeah, I have actually stopped accepting decks that don't have any results anywhere. So probably want to get a Breeding Pool with this. Breeding Pool or Stomping Ground. I would prefer seeing you playing tier 1 decks. Well, trust me when I say that's not super popular. I also don't enjoy playing a lot of the tier 1 decks all the time. So like, if people don't submit them, those aren't the decks I'm adding. Like, if we run out of modern deck submissions, I'm either just gonna play less modern, or we'll play some of the decks that I like Jeskai Tempo. But like, if there's no modern decks in the queue and we have standard decks, we'll just play more standard. Like, last time we played Hagak, for instance, that was kind of miserable, and I don't think I'd ever play that again, even though the deck is obviously very good. Like, it's omnipresent. It's just the games of Magic that archetype generates, I think, are really tedious. Yeah, I think Mardu Pyromancer is a fine deck. That's awkward. So we've got can't cast half our hand at the moment. Poor Birds of Paradise. And as always, to get an actual answer to your question, will Jeff play this? Just please submit it using the form on the website. The form is the appropriate way to ask. I never say yes or no with certainty without looking at the details. It's a Liliana. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have Izzet Charm up. I mean, like, I enjoy winning on occasion. It's just like the good decks in Modern do not mean you win more often. Like, that's just not how, that's not how Magic works in general, and it's especially not how Modern works. Like, Modern just has such an incredible amount of matchup variance and such incredibly swingy games because of how powerful sideboard cards are. Like, just as a great example, just like think of the Hagak deck and think about the games where the Hagak deck fails to draw an answer to their sideboard hate, and like what the Hagak deck is doing on a power level perspective when they can't keep a leyline off the table. They can't keep a rip off the table. Like, it's worse than a draft deck. I mean, I like playing a good linear combo deck. I just don't enjoy the games of Magic that are all about, did I draw my sideboard card? Did my opponent draw their anti-sideboard card? Like, I love a good linear deck. It's just like decks like Hardened Scales and Hagak, like those types of decks, in my opinion, generate the worst type of Magic possible. Worth noting here, I have 5 lands in play and can't cast a Niv-Mizzet Reborn if I draw it. Because, like, this could make green, red, blue, and then this is my black-white is in the same land. Same reason I have this in my hand and can't cast it on 5 lands. So, like, we're in this awkward position where, like, we need to draw a spell, but, like, I also need to draw a land. Alright, so the pillar's a decent pickup here. Each opponent sacrifice a creature, exile all cards from their graveyard, get a 1/1 white spirit, gain 4 life. Alright, so we get to entwine this thing. Yeah, I agree, Trax. And actually, like, when Hagak gets banned, it's gonna be good. It's going to be good for all the other graveyard decks, because people are going to do stupid things like cut graveyard hate. I was like trying to figure out why I couldn't see the menu, and I forgot I have my other monitor set up, so it goes off, it's underneath this monitor because of Moto bugs. So I had to like mouse down and find the entwine option on this awful interface menu. Now, the good news is we've kind of stabilized at this point, so any Bring to Light or Niv-Mizzet basically means we're right back in the game, which is sweet. I definitely think I just play my lands out here because I don't want to get them stuck in my hand discarded by a Liliana the Veil. Yeah, exactly. Dredge will still be a very reasonable deck. And there'll still be things like Mardu Pyromancer and other things that are like playing Faithless Looting, right? And various Phoenix decks. Like the graveyard. The graveyard will still be a zone you want to be very hostile to. This Raging Ravine kills us pretty quickly here. Ah, the incredibly powerful Wrenn and Six, chat. Do you feel the $90 of power? Do you feel $90 powerful? I feel $90 powerful. Thank you, Mr. Red. No, it's not Lingering Souls. Wow, what disrespect. Doesn't even try and attack my $90 Planeswalker. Do you even understand, opponent? Oh, okay. Okay, as long as you respect Mr. Wrenn. Oh, I shouldn't have gotten swamped there. Do I have a land left to fetch with this? Okay, I do. Whew. Alright, one Niv-Mizzet, please. One Niv-Mizzet, please. How about Basic Mountain, Chad? Do you think Basic Mountain's a lot like Niv-Mizzet? Alright. So this is doing 7 and then 8, so we got one more draw step here. This is technically a redraw, but like they're sitting on cards in hand, so I assume this is gonna die and they're gonna kill me. Yep. Couldn't beat the one matchup I expected us to be able to beat. That doesn't bode well for our start here. Yikes. As a heads up to God King, who had asked, is there a judge in chat? If you pop on into the subs Discord, there's a judge role in there that you can tag, who are all folks who are Magic judges. There's also various other sources around online that have official Magic judge chats where you can talk to people too. Man, the mana base in this deck is awkward. I think I'm keeping this. Like, hopefully we're gonna draw another land. Is the mana base in this deck worse than the mana base in our build in standard? I almost feel like it is. Of course, this format's also more brutal, so you just like have less time to fumble around. So like if you miss a beat in the standard deck, you can like still be kind of okay a lot of the time. Joke's on you, opponent. I can't cast my Noble Hierarch anyways. Ramanap runes. Alright, that's a weird one for an Eldrazi shell. Yeah, it could be, like, runes makes me think mono red prison, but like it must just be like a red Eldrazi deck, right? Like maybe they have Eldrazi Obligator in their deck. Cause like this is a weird card to have in the prison archetype. Zerblin. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for the 12 months of support. I appreciate you keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one. think I want to shock this in to hold up Izzet Charm at this point. I think the likelihood of Izzet Charm being live this turn is low, which I'm sure means they're about to, like, play a red land and play a Planeswalker that I'm going to be sad that I can't spell Pierce, but I think it's correct to just, like, preserve my health total against the Reality Smasher Thought Seer deck. Yeah, there's the Eldrazi Obligator we talked about. I guess that could have been a reason to shock in the land. Because while Spell Pierce might be dead, this is live. What color land am I getting with this? It probably needs to be green, huh? That's unfortunate. If I get blue or red, I can Izzet Charm this Obligator this turn, which is appealing. Nah, it should probably just be green. And then I think I'm going to end step, since they gave me a basic forest, I'm going to end step trophy this, and then I can untap and start playing out my mana creatures. What do you have to do to get green mana around here? Get Ghost Quartered, apparently, is the answer. Well, chat, we've got Niv-Mizzets. We're having the inverse problem from the Jund game. Last game they did not love us. We really needed a Niv-Mizzet at the end of last game. My bird has been witch-membered. Interesting that they chose to dismember that as opposed to blaststoning it. Land is an excellent draw here. I'm probably going to fetch a basic island and just Izzet Charm this Obligator this turn. Just like keep my health total high. So I can go green, blue, red, black, white, and cast this next turn. Just getting another spell out of my hand so I don't accidentally discard the hand size after this trigger would be nice too. We're gonna blow up Blast Zone? Yep. Harsh, but fair. Deal 2 damage there. They're down to 1 card in their hand, so if we, like, find a white land or a black land, we get to cast Niv-Mizzet Reborn. There we go. This is my 6/6 Muldrifter. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Choose a blue or white card. Wow, that was a lot better than Muldrifter, huh? It was like a lot better than Muldrifter, chat. Well then, I'm kind of in for Wrenn and Six here, right? I think I'm discarding the extra Niv-Mizzet, actually. Am I? No, I'm gonna discard the Bring to Light. So this closes relatively quickly. That lets it close even faster. So let's Wrenn. Pick a land up here. Place a land out. Attack for 6. So the Helix draw actually means they're dead next turn, right? Which is nice. I've got a bunch of life gains. So this one looks to be locked up. When I'm flipped out a little bit, and we got to take it away. Opponent's seen enough. Even without the Helix, they're just like not in a position to come back from a board like this. And again, I like look at my sideboard and I'm like, well, a lot of these are like Glittering Wish targets that are okay, so I probably don't want to board them because of that. This deck basically has like two, maybe 2.5 sideboard slots. It's like Fulminator Mage is something you'd board in. I feel like the most of the rest of these I'm supposed to leave there, which is a little awkward. When I was talking about decks I expected this to be reasonable against, an Eldrazi deck like this would definitely be one that I would include on that list. Their clock isn't particularly fast. A single removal spell can be pretty reasonable against them. Seems like an okay position, okay deck for us to be against. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. The mana is just fine. You get to go basic Forest, Birds of Paradise on one. If they go turn 1 Chalice of the Void for 1, I have a Jace Vryn's Prodigy that we can get down eventually, which will allow us to like loot through the birds. So that's not even the worst. Alright, Eldrazi Temple. Do you also have Spirit Guide Chalice of the Void again? You do not. God bless. It's a pretty good addition to this hand. We don't get Chalice next turn, and one or both of these birds lives. It could be pretty good. Just being a 6/6 is like gonna be real good in this matchup. Just like he blocks well. Didn't get Witchmembered. It's a good step 1. We're going to take my thoughts. Just a Chalice of the Void. Got it. So we'll go Jace Vryn's Prodigy tapped land this turn. And then we can loot through this second bird. Wait, what? Okay. Yep. That is a legal play. Simian Spirit Guide is a legal and reasonable Magic the Gathering card. I think I want to just get my burb down again here. If this manages to survive, I get to double spell next turn. So yeah, so if they're playing Chandra Torch of Defiance, they're a lot heavier on the red than like a lot of Eldrazi decks are on their splash. You can't really splash a red card. Wonder if we'll see them make mana and then blast zone this bird here. So if I untap with this bird, I can Glittering Wish for a trophy next turn. Cinnabar, thank you for the 8 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. They don't even need to make mana to smash us as they're showing here. Huh. So think I'm just supposed to kill this Smasher. Alternatively, I could Noble Hierarch here as well. I could, like, Noble Hierarch, take another hit, and play Jace Fringe Prodigy. I think that's probably wrong, though, because I want to... like, not die to a copy of, their 3-1 that steals something if I can avoid it. And now, we're hoping to rip a land next turn so we can cast Niv-Mizzet Reborn. That's the downside of not playing the Noble Hierarch this turn. I don't have a guaranteed 5th mana next turn to play the Niv-Mizzet. No, that's very wrong, Austin. And thinking about it's just fetchable with the Wish is really narrow. If you think about what you want a card like Rest in Peace to do, and then you read Sun and Moon text, the fact that Sun and Moon doesn't exile the cards already in their graveyard when it comes into play is a big deal. Also, casting Glittering Wish to fetch Sun and Moon means you're not doing that until turn 3 at a minimum, and turn 3 to play your Graveyard Hate is infinitely too slow in this format. So, this is a submission, and Rest in Peace is much, much better than Wheel of Sun and Moon. Anyone who thinks Glittering Wish for Wheel of Sun and Moon is fast enough for the graveyard decks in Modern, I'd ask what format you've been playing, because it's very different than the format I've been playing. Oh, that's a good piece of feedback. If I Noble Hierarch, they definitely would have Blast Zoned me. I think that's probably true. And that's another, again, like talking about like Glittering Wish in Modern, in addition to cutting you off of incredibly valuable sideboard slots, Glittering Wish also is just incredibly slow on average in Modern. Sure, and I'm telling you that it should not be. I think it's very, very incorrect to make that card that. When you've submitted a deck, you get an email back within 2 days. So I did not get a chance to respond to every deck submission that was in yesterday. This was an excellent draw. But if you submitted a deck prior to yesterday, you should have had an email already. Looks like I have 3 decks waiting in the queue. Yeah, I have one waiting in the queue for you, it looks like. You'll get an email back this evening. Woof. That's a pretty big upside to gaining red. This card's super powerful. Alright, so looking for a land that lets us cast Niv-Mizzet Reborn here. Alright, so cast this to Surveil 1. We'll play Jace as a chump blocker. Hope to rip a land for Niv-Mizzet. Hope Niv-Mizzet finds us Kaya's Guile. Modern. Oh, misery, thy name is Modern. Yup. Misery, thy name is Modern. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, hey, For people newer to Magic and Modern aren't familiar with why I conceded there, my opponent cast a card called Blood Moon, which turns all of my non-basic lands into mountains, which means I just can't cast any of my spells. So Modern, if you're not familiar with it, is a format where almost every deck is a deck that is almost every good deck. Sorry, let's quantify. Almost every good deck in this format is either trying to kill you by the third turn, or it's trying to make it so you just can't cast any of your spells. Yeah, that's true. Some of them are trying to kill you by turn 2. Lead on Blood Crypt here, which gives us the flexibility to Erasure or Helix on 2. They've played Eldrazi Temple on turn 1, 3 out of 3 games. Seems good. Hey, Harbinger, thanks for the half year support. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. Well, I guess I'm taking that one. I guess I'm taking the one that says I'm no longer allowed to play Magic. Keep that 5th land there. Yeah, they have a Mutavault in their Blood Moon deck. Listen, strange dark times, okay? So I'm getting this because I have another Glittering Wish. So our play next turn, because they're going to go Mountain, Pitch Spirit Guide, play Chandra. And then our play next turn will be Glittering Wish, grab Trophy Chandra. And then, like, they'll have mostly blown their load, and hopefully this can take over. Assuming we can fade them drawing another Blood Moon, we're in a good spot here. Would like to add 1 Chandra to my trophy case, please. You've played the incredibly powerful Serum Powder. Black, green, white, red, blue. Auto tapper when, Moto. Auto tapper when. Alright, Muldrifter, I choose you. Sweet. 6/6 draw 3. Got it. Got it good. JC would have killed you twice by now. Listen. We're having a dirtle off here, Punchworthy. Ain't nobody got time for your good and a fish. Yeah. Yep. You know. Well, they have no cards, so hopefully we'll get to attack them. Oh yeah, nothing Nothing but net. Basic island, chat. Cast my basic island. Alright, all in on this Niv-Mizzet. All in on this. We're gonna loot with this Izzet Charm to try and find our other. But we technically have one of each basic in this deck. Oh no, did you really draw a Smasher? They just have 5 lands. Did you really draw a Smasher? Yeah, basically. Woof. Do we lose this race? We go to 9, they go to 8, we go to 4. No, we're winning the race right now, right? We'd love to draw planes. Yep. They go to 8, we go to 4. No, we are losing this race, right? They go to 8, we go to 4. They go to 2, we go to dead. Yeah. Especially with Hazard's activated ability. Yeah, we have one of each basic. Yeah, plains or swamp kills them next turn. My opponent has no idea how lands work, apparently, though. They've, like, diddled and undiddled their lands 6 times here. So, we bottomed 7 cards. So, the fact that we bottomed 7 cards means there's 35. So we're 2 and 35 to win this game next turn. So 1 in 17 or whatever that comes out to be, about 5, a little over 6-7%, something like that. Hey, look, chat. We drew a basic land. We're not dead to Blood Moon anymore. We drew one of our 5 basics. Yeah! Oh, misery business. We needed them to not draw Blood Moon for like 1 turn. We just needed 1 turn with all of our colors after casting Niv. Yeah. I wanted to be pleasantly surprised with this deck. Unfortunately, it's feeling like it's performing at expectations, which is, it's just slow and clunky and not good enough for Modern. Which is, and like, it's not even like we hit a bunch of like hard, what I would think would be hard matchups. Like, we've played against 2 mid-range slow decks in a row where our card advantage from Niv-Mizzet and these other things should be very reasonable. It's not even like we've been getting Hagaked out of these games or like Blue-Red Phoenix out of these games, like something incredibly efficient. We've been playing against other kind of slow, mopey decks and still just not good enough. Have a good one, Elgarth. Alright. 3 for 3 I'm playing against fair decks, so if we lose this, we're definitely done. Yeah, Modern has basically reached a point where Legacy's been for a long time, which is that, like, the ultimate power level of the format is so high that new archetypes just have an incredibly difficult to impossible time pushing into the format. Because the number of powerful linear things you have to compete with is just off the charts. on average, every time new cards get introduced that are playable in Modern, if they're not making the deck you play a lot better, they tend to be making they tend to make your deck on average a lot worse. Yep. Welcome to the 8-rack bracket, chat. Welcome to the 8-rack bracket. All right. Togabogle, thank you for the 5-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I have this Tamiyo. So let's hope we can get this Tamiyo into play. Tamiyo Static says you can't be made to discard cards. So we're just hoping to run some lands off. And I am intentionally not playing this Thought Erasure because we're probably going to get Ravens Crimed or something next turn. Goose Fraba. Wouldn't have gotten there anyways. Yeah, K-Command's actually great here. And let's just kill this. Hey, Schwingy, thanks for the 16 months. Sorry about that. Welcome back. Yep, it's gone. That land in the middle. That is Modern Staper Pillar of the Pranuns, which is a multicolored spell. It's a land that lets you make mana of any color, but it only casts multicolored spells. So you discard, destroy that. That's exactly what it does, Bonnie. It makes us discard our hand, and then it plays this card, the Rack, which deals damage to us because our hand is empty. It puts you into this situation like this. You're just like hoping to draw spells that you can cast. So like, it's like this current position feels bad, but like our opponent's not really ahead, right? Like they're not doing anything. In fact, arguably because we have more lands than them, we're ahead at the moment. Do I just get Fulminator Mage and Stone Rain them? No, I'm gonna get Campbell. He's gonna like get a clock. Have we won any games yet? I don't think so. No, we've definitely won games. We've not won matches. We died to Jund, and we died to an Eldrazi deck playing Blood Moon. Alright, we're just going to hold on to cards at this point and attack them for 2. This, if we have 1 or less cards in our hand, 1 or fewer, we lose 3 life at the start of our turn. So if we keep 2... we don't take any damage from this. If they want to play a discard spell to make this trigger, they lose 2, we gain 2, so it's kind of a wash there. And again, I'm just going to keep these cards in my hand because I'd prefer to not die to these Shrieking Afflictions. Meaning if each player's upkeep, that player discards a card. Sure. Thanks for the 4 months there, Thunderwunk. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, well now I'm going to play this pillar out because Niv-Mizzet should draw me somewhere between like 2 and 4 cards. If we can untap with these. Because if they draw a land, they get to Ravenscry me here. Yeah, I guess that was wrong. Because now I have to discard this here. Oh yeah, I was gonna have to discard during my upkeep anyways. Yeah, I should have just kept the lands in my hand. That was super wrong. I'm done. This deck is bad. We lost to a bunch of medium decks, and this deck is, yeah. Isabus, thank you for the tier 2 resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Another month closer to 3 minutes after rotating. Yep. I mean, to be fair, this deck doesn't really want to play against Hogok. It's got 2 copies of Rest in Peace in the sideboard, and then nothing that can interact profitably with the board once they put things into play. So, yeah, this was a dumpster fire. Kind of expected it to be a dumpster fire. We're gonna right-click delete. I'm going back to only doing 1 modern deck a day until they adjust the format back around Hogok. So we're gonna slide into some standard because I have been enjoying standard. I know a lot of people are a little spent on it since it's rotating soon, but especially with the MCQ coming up this weekend, I would like to spend some extra time playing standard, so rather than continue to get Blood Mooned and Hogok and everything else that goes on in Modern, we're going to roll along to a different format. We'll be back with some more Modern tomorrow morning.